Super Dirt Week, racing's biggest party, is all new this year. It's racing, music, camping, and a huge Saturday night finale. See your dirt car racing heroes battle wheel to wheel all week for a chance at glory. Get your tickets at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. The 52nd running of Super Dirt Week, October 7th through the 12th. Be there.
All right, and here we are. It is another week of the Kyle McCord Show and another wild game to talk about from Friday night out in Vegas. He's Kyle. I'm Brian. You guys know that. Get in the chat. Get your questions firing. We'll go through as many as we can here over the next half hour or so with our guy, Kyle McCord. Well, welcome back here, West Coast trip, and my goodness, you scared us there a little bit, Kyle, but that must have been a pretty fun one, pretty fun flight back, all things considered, pulling that one out of the fire.
Yeah, wild game, obviously, and yeah, long flight back, but it's always a fun flight when you get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were tested, but ultimately came out with the win.
What stands out to you most of the game? Is it, LeQuint and his toughness? Is it 2-minute drill to tie it up? Was it the overtime? What pops to you?
I think just the overall composure of the team.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of points in that game where things could have gone one way, but we just kept swinging. And it was a big momentum game. Like, the momentum was going back and forth, and it felt like every single time a team scored, they would score in bunches.
Mm-hmm.
We got out to an early lead, and then they put up, I think, 21 unanswered, and then we put up, I think, 17 unanswered. Like, it was just back and forth, that type of game, and to just keep our composure and just keep swinging, and then put ourselves in an opportunity to go and finish the game out in overtime was sweet.
Yeah, they say basketball is a game of runs. Football's not supposed to be a game of runs.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've quite seen it. It was 14-0, then they scored 3 touchdowns straight, then you guys, yeah, I think, scored 17 in a row, then they got back at you. Especially, and, coaches talked about it, how they're going to work on the special teams and stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen a team kind of shrug off those 2 block punts like you guys did. Stuff like that usually just the whole sideline's like, oh, how'd you guys push through those moments?
Yeah, I think that obviously not ideal, but a lot of senior leadership, guys that have played in big games like that, just making sure that everybody stayed steady in the boat, and that we just kept focusing on our job. And I feel like the offense and the defense did a good job of that, kind of picking up the slack, and we responded. And obviously, that's not exactly how we drew it up to go on special teams, but I have no doubt that we'll get it cleaned up here this week, and it'll be a point of emphasis.
Yeah, I feel like, and we didn't see that right on the sideline. I feel those are things like, it's easy to start pointing fingers, right, and things go sideways. Is that the veteran leadership on the team? Is that Fran? Why is that you guys don't do that?
I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, the coaches have put us in situations in practice where you'll face adversity like that, so it's nothing that we haven't seen. But then, like you said, a lot of veteran guys who have played a lot of football, and all across the board. I think on defense, obviously, a lot of guys who were here last year, like JB, and then guys like who played in the SEC, like Fidel, and on offense, the same type of deal. Jackson Meeks being at Georgia, playing in big games where it goes back and forth like that. So just making sure that we didn't go under, and just stayed steady and just kept swinging, then because that's all you can control.
All right, we've got a That's My Quarterback in the chat from Marius Yanulis. A great game, Kyle, from Jen. Everyone loving what you did on Friday. Satchel Sack is he's trying to invent new eligibility rules to get you back here for another year. He said if you could walk on next year, he's willing to chip in. I don't know what the NCAA will think about that, but people are trying to figure this out.
We'll have to see. Yeah, maybe we can make a few phone calls and pull some strings and make it work.
There are no rules anymore. Just come back. Just come back. We'll figure it out later. All right, Dom in North Carolina is going to the game this week, going down to NC State. He's bringing his 10-year-old with him. He said he's got seats near the tunnel. You guys will be going in and out. Are you in the high five game? Are you allowed to get high five fans on the way in and out? Or you try to keep that the throwing arm protected?
I mean, it depends. Like maybe
post game when it's over.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in that mode, like I'm not I'm not thinking about anything other than football.
Yeah.
But then after the game, yeah,
Okay.
100%.
So not on the way on the field. After the win, on the way off the field, then. All right.
Facts, yeah.
All right,
exactly.
Don. You and your son keep an eye on after the game. Yeah, because you got to be in a zone, right, when you go on the field.
Yeah. I mean, walking onto the to the field this week, like, you know, it was cool because Jackson Meeks said it really felt like a kind of a playoff game almost, to where you're playing in an NFL stadium, and
crowd was kind of split,
yeah,
right?
The crowd was like almost split in half, to be honest. So it was sweet seeing all the Syracuse people making the trip out there. But yeah, I mean, you're walking on the field, like it was a really cool environment, and you know, you're on go. So that's just kind of where my mind is before the game.
All right, we talked about it last week. Your first game in an NFL stadium. Obviously, that is, I mean, literally the size of the building is very large there.
Yeah.
What was the environment like there?
Yeah, the environment was sweet. Obviously, you know, pulling up to the stadium, you know, in my mind, that's probably the best stadium in football right now, probably up there with SoFi in LA. So just having an opportunity to play in there was
Which are the
awesome.
last two Super Bowl sites, which is not an accident, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, and then when you're inside, like, just thinking about all the, you know, great NFL players, like Mahomes plays there every single year, and guys like that. And so it was a lot of fun. It was a cool environment. It was pretty loud, given that it wasn't filled all the way to the top. So it was a unique environment, but it was definitely cool.
Speaking of the loud, we can see on TV a lot of times you got hands over the ears, right, trying to hear the call. How difficult is that, you know, road environment? People aren't being quiet. Your first time with the in-helmet, what was the challenges like of actually getting the play in?
Yeah, I mean, I like hearing it as clear as can be. And so it helps a little bit. You know, I thought, because obviously this is my first year using the in-helmet. Like, when you see the NFL guys doing that, I'm like, that's corny. Like, there's no way it's that loud.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even I think it was like 30,000 something people there. And it helps. So just hearing Coach Nixon in the helmet as clear as possible, that's just all I was trying to do. Yeah.
All right, let's get these questions going in the chat here, guys. Put whatever you want in here, and we'll get it to Kyle over the course of the next 20, 25 minutes or so. Jacoby wants to know this. So this is from the 2-minute drive late in the game. 4th and 1, you run that little end-around deal to LeQuint. He gets hit first short of the line. What's going through your mind there when LeQuint gets hit? Did you realize, or was he threw it fast enough you didn't? Did you have an uh-oh moment, or what was it like for you?
I mean, game on the line. And you need a yard, I feel confident with the ball in his hands. And I mean, I've seen him. The thing about that, like, I've seen him make that play in practice a million times. And so for him to bounce off that tackle, it's not like, wow, like that was great. Like, that's who LeQuint is. And I think that play, and then obviously the last play of the game, just kind of sum his game up on, you know, 2 plays. Just when a play needs to be made, he won't be denied, and that's just, you know, that's the type of player he is.
Yeah, the fact that he was clearly hurt during the game, he's banged up, his legs wrapped up, he's in and out of the lineup, right? And still, that's the guy you trust, right, in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, that he's just, his mindset is different. His mind, and I think that's what makes him so elite. Like, every single day in practice, he's on go. Like, he never takes a day off. He never takes a rep off, and I think that shows in moments like that, where he just wouldn't take no for an answer. And, you know, at points, honestly, he just put the team on his back and, you know, carried us to a win.
Yeah, truly impressive performance. 4 touchdowns for one, and then obviously does about half the game, not at 100% for sure. Get your questions going in the chat here. We'll get them to Kyle. We got Orange Johanna. Not a question. He just says, thanks for coming here. Being the player and person you are. Thanks for bringing the excitement back. Best of luck. Stay healthy. Keep the team rolling.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
We like that. We like that. Mayamo23 wants to know about the trick play with Pena. Was that a pass to you? What? Or we got to keep that under wraps? Was that a Philly thing? What was going on there?
Whatever you want to think it was. Yeah, I mean, we called it a little bit late in the play clock. I think we got it in with like 5 seconds left, so we were kind of scrambling to try to get something set up. But whatever you think it was, that's what it was.
I'd say that's the thing. When it doesn't work right, you can actually run it again because nobody knows what it's supposed to be, right?
Exactly.
There you are. It's on tape, and people can be confused by it now because they don't know where it's going on. Okay, so our guy Paulie, who hosts the noon show here, Kyle, he also works on the radio broadcast. He's the engineer. He doesn't fly. He drove from here to Vegas. What's the nuts level on that? Fran last week called him tough and insane, I think, at the same time. What do you got for our guy Paulie?
I'm not obviously not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure flying is a safer way to travel than driving.
We keep telling him this.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, if you, I mean, some people like driving, and if you like making a road trip out of it, I'll tip my cap to you. But I would never, ever do that, ever. But
would you do it would you do it just for kicks? Like, hey, let's go on a road trip and take a few weeks and drive across the country, or are you just totally out on this idea?
I mean, if I had an RV, maybe.
Okay.
If I had an RV, maybe, but the furthest I'll drive in a car, like 6 hours.
All right.
That's probably the max. Anything more than that, I can't do.
Okay, that'll get you from here to home and maybe a little bit further.
Yeah,
maybe handle a traffic jam or two on the way back down to Jersey. Yeah, Paulie's nuts. We know that. He left, Kyle. Just to put this in perspective, he left like right after the Holy Cross game, and so remember that was a while ago now.
Yeah,
and he got back late Sunday night.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
that's impressive. Game ends Friday night. So
apparently, like, he went with his buddies. So here's what happened. Apparently, on the way back, like, you never know where you're going to be, right, or what the time is going to be. So you don't necessarily have your hotels planned out along the way. So they're crossing through Utah or whatever, and apparently there was some giant like biker convention or I don't know what.
Yeah.
There was no hotel, so they just had to keep driving.
Yeah.
They cut like a night out by just literally driving for 24
insane.
hours straight. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane. That's impressive, though.
It's all of the words. It's insane. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Barry Monkey says flying is only safer in a plane. Yes, in a plane, Barry. That would be safer if we put Kyle in the plane. In the plane. Flying. Yes, the chat agrees. Flying is a much safer form of transportation. Not the air disasters are more notable, but there's way more car accidents out there. All right. Yes. Well, T. Murphy, we actually do know the answer to this question. He wants to know if you have a favorite NFL team. We know your team is the Jets.
Yeah.
You're making news this morning, Kyle. What's this just happened within the last hour? Robert Saleh getting fired. What are you feeling as a Jets fan here?
Unexpected, honestly. I didn't see that coming. Tough loss, obviously. Sunday morning in London. But I mean that's crazy. They had a chance to go win it at the end. And I think, obviously if they win that game, I think that he's still the head coach, but that's just, I guess, the nature of the business. So we'll see what their next move is. But just if I had my 2 cents, keep feeding Garrett Wilson and play good defense. That's it.
All right, feed the Ohio State guy. I think. Did you cross over for a year?
1 year.
1 year. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Some of the catches that he made my freshman year in practice, that was like kind of my welcome to college football moment. Like I would throw him an okay ball, and he would go up with one hand over a DB and make a crazy catch. And I'm like, all right, I just put it in his area code, and that's kind of how it is for all those receivers now.
Okay. You an Aaron Rodgers guy? Like, is that somebody you watch and study?
Yeah, I like Rodgers a lot, and I think he can still play at a high level. And I think they're 2-3 right now, so
there's
still a lot of season left. I think that if they can make the playoffs, even as a wild card, because I know the Bills will probably be tough to beat in the division, even as a wild card, I think we can make some noise.
I believe Bills Jets is this upcoming week. I think they're playing
Monday night.
Did you actually watch the game Sunday, or was your sleep schedule so screwed up that you were out?
To be honest, my sleep schedule was so messed up that like I thought I was going to be tired, but I ended up like I was wide awake for the game.
Okay,
watching the game. Yeah, so I did end up watching it.
All right, so I think we've been wondering this all year. How does this cross-country travel affect everybody? So the game was Friday. We're sitting here on what day is it? Today is Tuesday. How are you feeling today? Are you back to normal, or where are you at?
I feel great today. I mean, after the games, I'm pretty wired up. So we got on the plane.
You sleep at all on the plane back?
I slept for like 15 minutes on the plane, like pretty light. So it didn't really sleep much, and then thought.
And suddenly it's sunrise, right?
And then you land at 8 a.m. So like it messed me up. So like we landed, I took a quick nap, and then I was good to go for like the rest of the day. So I watched all the college football games and like just missed a night of sleep, but I feel good. Like I got the Whoop band that like tracks your sleep and all that.
Okay.
And it gives you like a sleep percentage, and it literally said 0%.
Oh, that's low.
Yeah. But obviously you have to make it up after that. So I slept like 9 or 10 hours both Saturday and Sunday to make up for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're good to go. You're good to go. Okay, what else do we got here? So we mentioned Rodgers. Jacoby wants to know what quarterback is the one you watch. What's your pro quarterback you try to model yourself after?
I like Joe Burrow a lot, and then Matt Stafford. I like watching Mahomes, but some of the throws he makes is just like unfair. I think we were talking about that.
That's hard to. Yeah, it's like if you try to do that, that's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. So I like watching Burrow and Matt Stafford. Those are probably the two that I try to like study the most, if that makes sense.
You want to go blonde like Burrow? You got
I don't
that
think
in
I
you?
could pull that off.
No. Is he pulling that off? There's another question.
I mean, he's playing well. He needs a defense.
That's true.
I mean, their defense is letting up like 30-something points a game. I feel bad for him. He threw, 5 touchdowns last game?
Yeah, it was 5, yeah.
Still lost.
I think they ran the ball 3 times in overtime after he'd thrown 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
SU Woo, who wants to know, you guys had like a hashtag going on Instagram, hashtag UNLVK. Well, what's the deal with that? Can we divulge what that is?
I mean, I don't want to. I'm pretty sure it just means like after you beat a team, like you just put like K after their name. I don't know. Yeah.
You're not the leader in that?
I didn't use the hashtag, so I don't know.
Okay. Who are the Instagram guys on the team? Who's leading? Who's out there on social media all the time for you guys?
I feel like LeQuint has a good social media. He's always putting stuff up. And then I'd say the DBs, all the DBs have a pretty good page going on. I'd probably say LeQuint, the DBs.
Yeah, where's Barron at? Barron hasn't been in here insulting you in a few weeks. Come on, Justin. Get back in the chat. Get back on your game.
His username.
Yeah, he could switch it up. You can do that on here.
Yeah.
T. Murphy is offering his condolences to you as a Jet fan. Obviously, there's not a lot of postseason success to look back on. SL123450. First outdoor game coming this week. He wants to know do you change practice? Are you guys outside more? How's that changed up this week?
Yeah, we'll be outside this week practicing on the grass. So that's about it. I'm not sure what the weather will be like. I know there's a hurricane, but I don't think it's going to hit.
I think that seems to be twisting. Well, it's going to go right across Florida today. So wishing the best to everyone down there. But I don't think it's going up the coast. I think it's going out to the ocean somewhere. Mm-hmm. We had a game at Wake Forest 7-8 years ago. It was right after a hurricane. It was like the day after it ended. It was the wettest thing. It was. I'm still wet. Yeah. And that game was in 2016. But so hopefully you don't have to deal with that down there. Okay, Armosaurus wants to know, what was your favorite throw you made on Friday? He says his was your play action to a ronde that you gained about 30 or 40 on.
That one was good. I think my favorite throw was probably third down. Yeah, third down. And dropped back and spun out of the pocket to the left, and then kind of a scramble drill, and then hit a ronde up that left sideline on their sideline. That was probably my favorite throw of the game.
Okay, so Arande's still fine, right? Those 2 weeks, we can stop worrying about him now, right?
I mean, I tried telling people it was going to come. They put some one-on-one coverage on Arande, and 10 catches, 140 yards.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, he's good.
That'll play. I'll tell you the scariest throw of the game you had in my mind, at least on the TV angle. I don't know if it looked different on you. You hit LeQuint on that out for the touchdown. Yeah. On TV, I'm like, oh my God, that's a pick six. Was it not that close on the field, or were you worried when that ball was going?
My eyes, I started to the right side of the field, and then they played drop 8 coverage, so you have more time to go through your read. So I came all the way back left, and then I saw LeQuint standing there, and then the DB really wasn't like breaking downhill, so I figured if I just fire one on him and give him a one-on-one opportunity to score, that would be good. And the DB just got aggressive and tried to make a play, and then ended up getting the ball in there. But I mean that's that's the windows, especially when you go drop 8. Like there's gonna be guys everywhere. You have to make some of those tight throws.
I'd say like the initial TV angle, I don't know if it was a little optical illusion. It was like, oh my goodness, it's going right to this guy. And then wait a minute, and look what?
Yeah.
On the all 22, was it like when you got a wide shot? Was it not as close as that? Like when you actually see it?
I mean, it was close, but it wasn't. Yeah, like I threw that ball and I was confident that it was going to be all right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you throw one, and I mean, if you've ever played quarterback, you know what I'm talking about. Like you wish you just had a string on the end of the ball.
Reel it back in?
Yeah.
That was not one of those, though.
Yeah, no, I felt good letting that one go, though.
Okay, I said just like the live TV angle, it's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, wait. Oh. Okay, great.
Yeah.
LeQuinn has it. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, we were talking about this last week. Ryan Mullen wants to know. We were talking about literally the plane and how you didn't really know what the deal was, how your travel was going to be. How was your seat? Who were you hanging with? Did you have good leg room? What was your accommodations?
It was good. I sat next to Witherspoon, so they put all the O linemen in the front, and so
all right, you get to hang with the left tackle. That's good for the QB.
Yeah. So we had our own row. Middle seat was open. Up against the window, so I was good. Comfortable plane, and obviously the second longest flight we'll have this year. So started off with one of the longer trips, but it was good. No complaints on my end.
Yeah, Cal will be just a little bit longer, not that much. Maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes longer than that. Was there anyone that had a better seat, or you want to trade places, or you good with your spot?
I mean, Savion had the first row, so I mean he had a bunch of leg room, but I'm not gonna try to argue with someone who's 6'8" and protecting me. He can have it.
Yeah, if you're 6'8" and a starter, I think back up in 6'8", I don't know what you're getting, but when you're the starting right tackle, you can get a little room. All right, so what other questions we got here in the chat today? Let's see. When you have games during the week, Orange Ohana wants to know. You got a Pitt game on Thursday coming up. You traveled during the week last week. How does that work with classes? Or you got the academic people with you? Or are you doing, remote classes can be a thing now. How do you handle that when there's midweek travel like you had last week?
Yeah, so we left on Wednesday, so I couldn't go to class, obviously, on Wednesday, so you just kind of have to make up the work, email your professor, and try to stay ahead of it. And then I had class on Friday, but obviously couldn't make that either. So same thing, just have to email and try to stay ahead. And, I'm looking forward to when I can play football and not have to worry about all the academics and stuff, but still need to get the degree and finish out strong. So, just have to keep going.
Are you graduating in December?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got 2 months left.
Yeah.
There you go. The NFL, they don't send you to class. I mean, you're there studying, but it's kind of a whole different class.
Yeah, exactly.
On that one. Okay. Alex Martin says, "Hey, you're a true pro. Everything the SU and the city needs." So a big fan there. And Alex Gavenda wants to know, what NFL team would you like to play for? Is it your Jets, or do you care?
Whoever wants me. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, whoever wants me.
There's the right answer.
Yeah.
You got no control, right, when it comes to the draft, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the first time where you don't get to pick who you play for, obviously. Like middle school football, you get to pick who you play for, and then you get to pick what high school you go to, and then you get to pick what college you go to, and then now the roles are kind of reversed. So we'll see.
Okay, this is from Jim Faz with 3 Z's. He says, "Yo, bro, 8 of us go to one Ohio State game a year. 8 of us were repping you big down there, had McCord shirts made in Ohio State colors. Fans loved them. Great job. Glad you're orange."
That's sweet.
There we are.
There we are.
All right, so the whole Ohio State fan base hasn't turned on you. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Alex Martin 22 says, "Just mailed a champagne bottle to OSU." All right, hey, did you get the proper office number for Ryan Day to get it to the right place? For what Fran said the other week. If Fran had picked something maybe like cheaper to do, that like I don't know if like mailing alcohol interstate, that could be a problem. That's going to be a tricky one, I think, for Cuse fans to actually pull off on this one.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, I've gotten tagged in some funny stuff online after he said that. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see.
It's fun to have a head coach that says stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what he's going to say when he gets up to the podium. But I mean, I mean, that's who he is. Like, he's unapologetically himself all the time.
Mayama wants to know, hey, you threw it 63 times last game. Is that is it like a pitcher? You got to ice the shoulder down, or are you good?
I'm good. I mean, a lot of those throws were just
long handoffs, right?
Yeah, extensions of the run game. Throwing in the flat, just throwing hitches, quick speed outs, stuff like that. So I feel good.
He said Yankee fan. You're a Phillies fan, though, right?
Phillies fan.
Ooh,
yeah.
You guys pulled it out of the fire the other day.
Yeah, I mean they make it interesting, but I mean I can't be upset because every other series is 1-1 right now. So big game tonight. I'll be tuning in. And Coach Nunn's the quarterback coach is a Mets fan.
Okay.
So a little bit of smack talk going on back and forth. So I'm gonna need.
I didn't handle that. The game's at 5. Like, that's during practice.
Yeah,
how you guys? Yeah, I mean, it'll be probably ending when practice is over.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we get out, I'm gonna be going to the phone and live streaming it.
Okay.
Hopefully the game will still be going on, but we'll see. We'll see. They definitely made it interesting. Last game, it kind of reminded me of our game that we just played. It was kind of back and forth, and then they pulled it out there at the end. So
yeah, that was one where like everybody felt they won and lost and everything that game. Mets are 5:08 today and tomorrow. You can listen to those games, ESPN Radio right here in the Q. So we'll have full coverage of the Mets later on this week. We have to call it the Mets here, Kyle, not the Phillies. So
that's fine.
It is the national broadcast. They'll be nice to the Phillies, I'm sure. Let's see. What does Fran ever rest? Orange Ohana wants to know. What does his sleep band say? He probably shouldn't wear one of those things, right? Just stuck on zero.
It's crazy. Like he'll leave the facility late at night, and then he'll text us like in the like the leadership group chat that we have, like a picture, like if the locker room isn't clean, he'll text us a picture when he's walking in the facility. It's like 5:30 in the morning, a picture of the locker room, and I'll see it obviously when I wake up a few hours later. I'm like, this dude just never stops. Like he never, like I feel like he's old. He damn near lives at the facility. So he's always on go.
Alex Martin says, never watching the NFL again if you don't get drafted or signed. All right. No pressure then.
You and me both.
There we are. Kyle's out also. Jim Faz wants to qualify. He's a Syracuse fan, not Ohio State fan, so he's just repping you in every possible way.
There we go.
Armosaurus wants to ask you about Justice Ross Simmons. He got out there for what, 10, 12 snaps on Saturday. I don't think you targeted him on Saturday, but it sounds like he's working his way back in. What can he do for you guys going forward?
Yeah, obviously working him into the rotation, and then he was full go yesterday at practice. Had a really good day at practice yesterday. So I'm excited to get him out there. And another weapon, a guy who's played a good amount of football too. Obviously produced really well at Colorado State, and someone that can help us. So I'm definitely excited to get him out there and get him going.
All right, last few questions for you. Devin wants to know, what is currently the quarterback's favorite song? That's a good. I kind of like that as a nickname, the McQuarterback. Yeah. There we go. We talked music last week. Do you have one you're leaning on?
I would probably say "Get Ready" by Rod Wave. That's a good song to listen to before the game. And then after the game, I would probably say any like Bob Marley. I'm a big Bob Marley fan. So anything by him, and then country as well. So pick and choose what you want. I mean, it depends what time
mood,
of the day. Yeah, mood, all that. So yeah.
Bob Marley. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I would not have guessed that. That's been a minute since he's been. Your lives did not intersect in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, no. I think my uncle put me on to him.
Okay.
So
that'll make sense.
Yeah.
All right. False Child wants to know. It says there's a lot of good QB play in college football this year. Obviously, all you guys get compared. Like, do you pay attention to that? Do you have to think? He wants to know. Like, do you think about like Hail Marys, like getting picked, ruining your stats or anything like that? Is that anything? I know some quarterbacks like care about that stuff, or guys with shooting percentage in basketball. Yeah. Does that cross your mind at all?
Not really. No. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of the other quarterbacks just going to like the high school camp circuits, and then throughout the years you intersect with them, your paths cross, and so obviously staying connected and just talking to them is cool. But I mean, I think the biggest thing, like, obviously the scouts are going to watch the film. They're going to see, like, if you threw up a prayer at the end of the half and it got picked, like they won't count it against you.
Yeah, like they do more than just glance at the stats when they're evaluating you guys. Ryan Mullen wants you to know, don't take it easy on Miami just because Rohan Marley played there. That was Bob's kid. He was he was a linebacker there. When was he there? That was like late 90s, early 2000s. He was. Yeah. I think he had a big neck roll, if I'm remembering right. Wow. All right, we got time for one more here. Roddy Richards wants to know. We're getting there. We're in the month where this is actually going to start. Who is your all-time favorite Syracuse basketball player?
I'd say Tyler Ennis.
Oh,
Tyler Ennis. Yeah, I mean that was the age.
That shows you're paying attention. I like that.
Yeah, I mean that was the age where I really started to watch like college basketball and really care about it. And they were really nice back then. So I'd probably say Tyler Ennis.
All right, 25-0. That shot against half-court shot against Pittsburgh. There we go.
Yeah,
that shows you like have a concept of Syracuse basketball. Carmelo. I mean, not a bad answer, but that's. I feel that would be the go-to.
That was before, like I think he played the year I was born, so I can't.
Trying to make me feel old.
No,
but, that was my junior year here in school. Yeah, it was fun.
Yep.
I don't know if you would have fit in as a baby, but we had a good time then. We had Marshall Street had a good time then. Kyle.
I think they're gonna have a good year this year. The basketball team.
You guys hang out at all? Like you see them in the building? Or?
Yeah, I mean I got class with a few of the guys, and obviously we all talk and support each other. So I'm excited to see what they do this year. Obviously last year kind of caught the tail end of the season and didn't really know the guys too well, but. I'm excited to see what they do this year.
Okay, there we are. Exhibition games will be getting going in just a couple weeks now. Go figure. We are getting there. We're getting there. All right, that's our time together. That's our half hour today with Kyle. Kyle will be here next week. We'll get your questions again. Not next week. There's a bye next week. You will not be here next week. Kyle will be here the week after. Even getting ready for Pitt. That'll be kind of a short week with the Thursday game coming up. So no show next week with the bye. Kyle will be here the week after. All right, man. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
There he is, Kyle McCord.